Hello. This weekend, your team is going to work together to complete our Week 1, Step 1, to assess the needs to identify goals. We will follow the Dick Carey and the Carey textbook of the 10 steps of instructional design process. So please review the posted 2 files to be familiar with the coming 10 steps and understand the needs to find out what is the needed elements we need to identify in order to create your instructional goals. Please make sure you are able to define the differences between the terms, including needs assessment, needs statements, and the instructional goals. For question 2, your team should discuss together, or you can propose individually, have 3 possible ideas from your team about any possible topics your team could design. But keep in mind that whatever topic your team would like to work on, it got to be accessible, it got to be visible. You will be able to conduct research, collect the interviews, and give them the evaluations as formative evaluation later on. Question 3 will require your team to finalize with one final idea about what you will design for this course. And your team must think about who will be the learners, where will be the environment, and what standards you are going to follow by, and what the learning setting will be. So if these 3 conditions can be met, then it will be appropriate for your team to start to work on Week 2. Instructional goals are based on the problems and needs your team define and search for. Therefore, you must answer the several questions posted in the required reading material, such as, is the need clearly defined, described, and verified? Is the need foreseeable in the future? Is it the most effective solution to the problem? Is there any logical agreement between the solution and the problem and your proposed instructional goals? And are the instructional goals acceptable to your local administrators and managers? So just review these 5 questions. If one of the questions are negative, then you might have to rethink about the team idea and try to work on the other idea. And the following questions are the secondary questions. Regarding to the behavior issue, is the content, the material can be used over time, not just for 1 semester. It might be used for over 1 year, 2 years, or maybe longer. Or do you have any experts in this idea, in these needs and the instructional methods? So you need to think about, is there a group of learners available to help you conduct the evaluations? If the previous questions can be answered with the positive input, then your team will start to work on the instructional goals. You must create 3 instructional goals, and each goal should provide 1 complete sentence with the 3 elements. These 3 elements including the learners, the environment, and the learning setting. The learners in the blue blocks including the targeted populations, 3rd graders or high school students or teachers or staff. We need to specify who the learners will be. In the red box, we need to provide conditions for the environment, including whether it's a school environment, lab, or a classroom, or it's a company's training environment. What standards we are following by is for the NETs, or for STARS, or for higher education, the SEX standards. For the green box, you need to provide the learning setting. How we are going to measure the learner's learning outcome. Do we plan to use a pre and post survey? Or are we going to simply assess their attitude by practicing certain type of applications? I'm going to give you several examples in the next slide. Here is an example I can share with you. It's a big idea, and the topic is to promoting teachers to use technology for meeting NET standards. If you are in any school district, you know there are tons of standards we should follow. So this example is just pick up some of the NET standard for technology. And I break it down to 3 goals. First one is to make sure the teacher will be able to use the networking, the social network. Second one is they got to be able to use the classroom management software. The third one is they got to be able to pass the STAR technology test. So you can look at the color code. I put it there. The blue one you can see is the specified learners. Then the red one is to specify what type of standards and what environment will be taking place. And the green one is how we will measure, how we will assess the outcome from this instructional goal. So you can read these 3 statements and have an idea. Like a first one, I say all teachers. Then for the green box is to be able to measure. So I say we got to have more than 4 entries per month. So if the teachers did not enter more than 4 times to get into the block site, then it failed. Okay? Then the second goal, I put the assessment goal as 80% of the teacher must be able to use any kind of software to provide a classroom management software. Then the example 3 is I put in the teacher should pass the STAR technology test with higher than 90% of competency level. So these are just the ideas for your team to form 3 goals. And remember, each goal statement should include 3 elements. So if you have any question, please let us know. We will be more than happy to provide you more examples.